It seems to me that the British intelligence services are basically trying to create ghosts. Indeed, they are programming psychiatric patients utilizing brain surgeries and psychotronic drugs, narco hypnosis, various other forms of hypnosis, and various brainwashing methods. They are utilizing these methods to create ghosts whereby psychiatric patients are programmed and then go out into the community and basically do things that no sane person would ever do. And this seems to be a pattern that is being repeated indeed. Many of the serial killers in the United States over the years have basically been ghosts, part of these mind control programs. And the psychiatrists and programmers have built on their schizoid tendencies and programmed them with certain disinhibiting traits. And therefore, these people have gone on to commit heinous acts, but it's all been part of the programming. Indeed, many of these supposed serial killer instances of murder have actually been to cover up for elite psychopaths, really, elite networks of serial killers connected to Masonic lodges. And indeed, they're using these schizophrenics as the fall guys for their own crimes. Indeed, that's not to say that these serial killers have not carried out crazy acts, but they have done so under programming, and it's all been part of an agenda to cover up for Masonic psychopathic networks, who the Masonic lodges do not want the public to know the existence of. Indeed, this scenario was repeated also in the Soviet Union and later the Russian Federation. Indeed, the majority of the so-called maniacs of the Soviet Union were programmed in Project Sturm, and their crimes covered up the elite networks of psychopaths connected to the Russian Communist Party and the Russian intelligence structure. Indeed, this seems to be an ongoing state of affairs that the elite psychopathic networks are covering up for their own activities by utilizing their networks of schizophrenic ghosts. Indeed, I believe that I was a ghost and that I was programmed in a Masonic laboratory, basically, in the crypts beneath the Grenville Lodge, Masonic Lodge in Buckingham, which is on the site of the University of Buckingham, which is itself a corporate front for Masonic intelligence activities. And I believe I was basically programmed to be a ghost within the Gladio 2 framework. Indeed, I was mainly programmed with Nazi fetishist ideologies and henceforth went on to basically carry out several crazy activities over the years that were in line with this programming. And this is all part of the Masonic agenda. Indeed, the networks of the Masonic lodges within the British intelligence structure are very much Nazi fetishist networks. Indeed, the Nazis themselves were an interconnected network of German Masonic lodges who were themselves interconnected with British ones. But these German Masonic lodges were centered around networks that were descended from the Bavarian Illuminati network through the Bavarian Thule Society and various other networks such as the Ordo Templi Orientis, the Brotherhood of Death, which gave us Skull and Bones, and various other networks of orders that believe themselves to be the continuation of the Knights Templars. Indeed, the so-called Nazi clampdown on Freemasons was actually a scam, and this so-called Nazi crackdown on Freemasons was actually the ruling networks of Masonic lodges cracking down on factions of Masonic lodges that were not in league with the power grab by these specific Nazi Masonic lodges. Indeed, it was an inter-Masonic civil war, basically. And it seems that only very low-level initiates were actually disposed of by the Nazis in the concentration camps. Indeed, the Soviet Union, under Stalin, also banned Freemasonry, though Stalin was himself a Masonic initiate of the German body of Masonic lodges and a key Abwehr and later Deutsche Verteidigungsdienst operative. Indeed, a faction of the GRU seemed to have murdered Stalin once they found out that he was a long-range penetration Deutsche Verteidigungsdienst operative, and this network of the GRU murdered Stalin. Indeed, this network of the GRU seemed to have realized that communism was all just a joke, a charade, and it was basically a concept created by British and German Masonic lodges. So it seems maybe that perhaps there are genuine people within the Russian GRU who wish to take on the Masonic networks. Indeed, the Soviet Communist Party then pretended that Stalin was still alive for several months after the GRU had assassinated him, which is quite interesting. Indeed, after Brezhnev died, the Soviet Communist Party also pretended that Brezhnev was still alive for several months. Indeed, this shows how technocratic regimes basically can continue a facade. And indeed, there are many parallels between the Nazi regime and the Soviet regime, just as there are with the modern British regime. Indeed, there are many parallels with Nazi Germany and the Soviet Union taking place in the construct of the current British state. Indeed, I've now lost my train of thought. Yes, that was it. Stalin banned Freemasonry in the Soviet Union, but as I stated, this was just a hoax, indeed, as Stalin was an initiate of a German Masonic lodge. And Stalin was basically carrying out the activities of a specific network of Masonic lodges who wished to persecute other Masonic lodges. And as I've explained in a previous video, all the Masonic lodges are basically divided into different networks who are at war with each other. They are factions of Freemasonry fighting against one another. Indeed, it's all a struggle for power. So the networks of Freemasons that were shut down in the Soviet Union would have been networks of Freemasons that were not in league with Stalin's autocracy, basically. Indeed, that's not to say that these Freemasons would have been good people. Indeed, they would have most probably wanted to put in Trotsky as leader of the Soviet Union. So it was different networks of Masonic lodges warring against each other, just as in Nazi Germany with the supposed crackdown on the Masonic lodges by the Nazi regime, when that was just one or several networks of German Masonic lodges cracking down on other networks of German Masonic lodges, just as in the Soviet Union. Indeed, this is all interlinking. Indeed, as I've stated before, the Masonic lodges of Britain and Germany appear to have now basically wrested control of the entire Vatican structure and its notorious intelligence agency known as the Entity. The Entity now seems to be a conduit for British and German Masonic intelligence operations. And the Black Raven cult, which is the network of the top cardinals and the Pope himself, seems to now be coordinated by the Anglo-German Masonic bodies. Indeed, the XDM network of Roman Catholic priests has always been in the service of British intelligence and has basically constituted a British intelligence fifth column within the Vatican hierarchical structure. Indeed, returning to the theory of the ghosts, indeed it seems that the British, American, and Russian intelligence services have vast programs, most probably overseen by Deutsche Verteidigungsdienst operatives who are masters of Nazi mind science. Indeed, these intelligence structures seem to have vast networks of ghosts who are paranoid schizophrenics who are to be utilized for use as patsies, basically. Indeed, the paranoid schizophrenic ghost networks of the intelligence services are simply there to be used as patsies. Indeed, they can point and say, this maniac is responsible, when the activities are actually the responsibility of the elite psychopathic networks of serial killers and ritual sadists, child sacrificers, and torturers. Indeed, this seems to be the case, and paranoid schizophrenics are getting the blame for the activities of an elite pathocracy. Indeed, as I stated, the so-called maniacs of the Soviet Union were created by the Project Sturm mind control program rolled out by the Russian intelligence structure. And this has continued. In fact, it has been escalated with the change of system from the Soviet system to the Russian Federation system, though, as Christopher Story surmised, it may have been that perestroika was actually a deception and that the Soviet Communist Party is still ruling Russia. But I haven't come to a conclusion on that one. Indeed, it seems very much that Russia is a mafia state, though this could be a mafia state being run by the continuation of the Soviet Communist Party. But indeed, these maniacs that Russian intelligence are creating in the psychiatric hospitals serve a purpose to cover up for the activities of the pathocracy, which is prevalent within the elite networks of the Russian state, security, and intelligence apparatus, just as in the United States and in Britain and all across the NATO countries, there are networks of Masonic psychopaths who are fetishists, often Nazi fetishists, and delight in torture, murder, rape, necrophilia, cannibalism. And these pathocratic networks need to be covered up so the public do not gain extensive knowledge of the activities of this pathocracy, and thereby paranoid schizophrenics are programmed as ghosts, basically, to commit heinous acts, perhaps one, which will then be linked to other unsolved heinous acts. And all of these will be blamed on the paranoid schizophrenic Patsy, when in fact these are the work of an elite network of Masonic psychopaths who are organized within interconnecting Masonic lodge networks, who are factional and are at war with each other. But these psychopaths are often high-ranking intelligence operatives and police chiefs and various high-ranking members of the intelligence and police structure. And they designate schizophrenic ghosts as patsies and thence program them and basically cause them to commit some sort of act. Whether they actually do the act or not, it doesn't matter, as long as they can point and state this maniac is responsible. The Masonic pathocracy does not care, as long as the Masonic pathocracy can cover up its networks. Indeed, these networks all link to covens and occult networks, which are heavily involved in drug distribution and arms smuggling and ritual abuse and mind control programming. And these occult networks basically serve as conduits for intelligence operations, and the occult hocus pocus basically serves as a cover for the operations of the Masonic lodges. Indeed, the lower level satanic covens and accelerationist networks centered around the Order of Nine Angles and 764, and these kind of networks all serve a purpose for intelligence operations. Indeed, the Temple of Set of Michael Aquino, who was himself a high-ranking military intelligence operative and NSA officer and Order of Malta initiate. That network was heavily involved in mind control programming of schizophrenics for use as ghosts. Indeed, the networks of Michael Aquino were basically a continuation of the Phoenix program, but moved to the United States and Britain. And indeed, Michael Aquino himself was a mind control programmer from the Phoenix program during his tenure as a military intelligence officer in Vietnam. Indeed, these networks are all Nazi fetishists. Indeed, the Aquino network sacrificed children at Wewelsburg Castle, which was the holy shrine of the SS. And it's interesting to note that it was an ancestor of Michael Aquino, one Count Luigi Aquino, who gave the Arcana Arcanorum code to Count Cagliostro, whose birth name was Giuseppe Balsamo, and he was a high-ranking Illuminatus and the founder of the Order of Memphis Mizraim, a body of so-called Egyptian Freemasonry, a key Masonic network in the build-up of the blueprints for the end game, which is coming into fruition now. Indeed, the creation of ghosts by the Masonic networks basically began probably as early as the 1760s, 1770s, when these networks were really beginning to consolidate. These Masonic networks were really beginning to consolidate themselves and consolidate their power. And their first targets, who continue to be their main targets, were the mental patient population and the birth of the asylum system as we know it. Indeed, large-scale incarceration of the insane. This process was due to the behavior modification programs carried out by the Masonic lodges. Indeed, the Masonic lodges wished to isolate the victims of their own mind control programs and mesmerist programs. They wished to isolate these victims and basically stop them from having any communication with the public and telling the public about what these Masonic psychopaths were up to. So that was the beginning of the Great Confinement and the mass incarceration of the insane. Indeed, although there was a project for deinstitutionalization beginning in the 70s and 80s, it seems that things are going the other way now, and that more psychiatric hospitals are being built, especially forensic ones. Indeed, there is a big drive within the UK judicial system to criminalize the insane as much as they possibly can. Indeed, this is part of creating conditions whereby the public will turn against the mental patient population and eventually see it as surplus to requirements, which could lead to the equivalent of a T4 program. I'm not entirely sure that's going to happen. I think the mechanisms used may simply be microchips in the brain acting as lobotomies, but I'm not entirely sure yet. It depends if the Nazi fetishists within the cryptocracy can get the public on board enough to bring about a mass extermination of schizophrenics has occurred in Nazi Germany. But this is part of the continuing cosmic war between Freemasons and mental patients, which has been going on probably since the dawn of time, with the ancient secret societies being at war with the networks of those of unsound mind, basically, because the us of unsound mind have certain neural pathways that the Freemasons wish to tap into, and they see us as a threat to their dominion. So it's all very interesting, really. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there.